What's up, welcome crowd? If you're hearing me on the intro here, that means that we did something special recently. It's becoming a podcast episode. This time we did a webinar all about your front desk. And the idea behind your front desk, and this happened, by the way, in April of 2026, and you should have joined. We had quite a good crowd that came on. We had a special offer just for webinar guests. If you want to know more about that offer, because you're a wonderful listener, just send us a message at hello@patientcaremarketingpros.com, and we can send that offer to you as well. But this episode on this webinar, it's all about getting that mindset transition on your front desk and the importance of it, where they're no longer the receptionist, they are that salesperson, that revenue generator, and the importance of getting people into your clinic through appointments and being proactive on the phone and making sure it all happens the right way. Because here's the thing. You have enough volume. You have enough search already there. You don't need necessarily tons of more marketing dollars to make it happen. What you need is to convert what you have. We go through that in today's episode, and I hope you enjoy.
Yeah, the whole goal today, what you spoke of frustration. Simply put, the front desk is where most clinics are losing their income and their revenue. Yeah. They're losing their opportunity. They're losing their repeats, right? So what I'm wanting to put together, what we've put together today is an opportunity to learn how to convert more patients without increasing your ad spend. I think going into the summer months, you want to spend less money, not more money. We get that. Yeah. We want to talk about where clinics are losing their patients before the visit even happens. And of course, we have identified that the front desk performance drives the growth. We're going to give you systems. We're going to give you scripts. We're going to give you metrics that are going to increase your conversion rates at the front desk. That's where the leaky bucket is. That's where we're going to help you fix it today. And then we want to help you turn your front desk into a patient acquisition engine, a machine. We're going to have links for all of this for you in the resources. But as always, we want to let you know we're here on purpose to help you get more patients. You'll see behind us, we have our core values on our wall, and all clinic growth is a volume game. So we want to help you get more patients. We want to help you deliver better care. If you are not worrying about all the other things in your clinic, then you can just deliver the best experience care that you can provide. We want to help you do that. And we want to help you get repeat visits. The best compliment you'll ever get is somebody who came back to do business with you again. We want to help you do that. And then at the end of the day, for all clinics, we want to help you scale. All right. Scale can mean different things for different people. Sometimes it's more patient volume or max patient volume. Sometimes scale means you're building a clinic to sell. And sometimes it means that you want multi-locations. There's lots of opportunity out there. But if you deliver more or get more patients, get better care, drive repeat visits, then you can scale your clinic and live the life that you want.
One thing you had said about where do you want to be with your clinic on growth and scale. I had a conversation not too long ago with a clinic about front desk. And I said, hey, this front desk adjustment will get better response if you have some vision casting in place.
For sure.
So, because when you start making changes that seem dramatic, there will be pushback. But with the vision casting, you're like, why are we doing this? What's the ultimate goals? Like, how is this going to help everybody? Makes a big difference. So if I could put anything out there at the very beginning of this presentation is, this is generally different from what most front desks is viewed as. And so going back to your team about this will have pushback. But if you have good vision behind it and what it can do overall, and when it doesn't meet the larger vision of the clinic, then you have a better chance of it actually happening.
If you need a little support on vision casting for your team, how to do that properly and what that looks like, literally the Walk-ins Welcome episode that dropped yesterday is our thought process on how to put vision in front of your team and why that matters. So go back and watch that episode or listen to it. But let's get started.
Yeah. So here's the thing. We understand we're a marketing company, and the reality is you keep marketing companies on board if you're making money, right? So if we're seeing good things on our end, but when it gets down to the patient showing up or not, there's usually a breakdown. And that breakdown, sadly, is happening at the front desk more often than we want to. It says 20 to 40% potential patients are lost at the front desk. That number could be higher. That's just the number that we can find with our own staff.
And by the way, that number is only relevant to calls that were answered in the first place.
Yes, yeah.
The amount of missed calls, which are in the 60th percentile there, 60% of those calls that are not even going answered, the 20 to 40% is just for the ones that are answered.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a problem. And now if you're telling yourself, my front desk answers all the calls, yes, that's totally fine. We get that.
Kudos to you for that.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that's actually a step in the right direction because you'll be shocked how many missed calls there are. It's in the comfortness with missed calls, and I understand that there's busyness, but it can't be every day. And also, we joke, you say that you need more patients, but you also say on the front desk you're too busy. Which is it, right? And so like there's that vision casting starts to make a lot more sense all of a sudden because what your view as maybe the owner manager versus who's doing the front answering the phone and having those interaction with your patients, those views may not be aligning. So anyway, but this is what we know. We know that if the front desk gets, we say fixed, but basically the front desk becomes more than just a receptionist, that number goes down on the potential patients that are lost, which increases your overall patient volume because and the reality is the volume is there. It's just not going all the way to the end.
Right.
And we know that, we see that. And every time we have an improvement on the front desk side, we automatically see an improvement in patient volume without changing anything else. Yep. Hey, Michael here. So thankful that you listen to our podcast and hopefully you're getting something out of it. But if you are listening, chances are you're an urgent care owner or manager or work somewhere in the urgent care space. And you either are seeking out information to improve your clinic or just find ways to make it more operationally efficient. We understand our audience really well. Now, on the other side of our podcast is a company called Patient Care Marketing Pros. So if you are seeking out ways to increase the amount of patients coming in your door, Patient Care Marketing Pros can do that for you. We are all about increasing your visibility on search. So when there's more visibility, there's more likely a patient will see you and interact with you and become that actual patient and come into your clinic. We're all about that. We're here to help you with that. So if you have patient volume issues or you have revenue issues or you're looking to add that second location, but you're just not sure if it will do well or not, we can help you. Also, too, we work from startup to mini multi-locations. So if you are because we get it, multi-locations, if you have half of your locations are doing well, supporting your other half that aren't doing well, we can make the whole set do better. That's all we care about is getting the patient volume numbers up through digital marketing. Love talking to you more at patientcaremarketingpros.com. See you then.
Yeah, we'll do a little exercise later in the webinar and show you exactly what recapturing some of this 20 to 40% looks like.
Exactly. All right. So every interaction matters. So let's talk about that. So we have missed calls and weak responses and uncertain answers. So right out of the gate, missed calls. So the missed call side of things, it sounds pretty obvious, but some people don't understand like the importance of that is that when you miss a call, the opportunity's gone. Right. In your world, in the industry that you're in, the branding isn't strong enough. The person doesn't know who they're calling. They're just trying to call an urgent care to answer a question and making sure that you could see them.
Right.
And if they can never get the call answered in the first place, they're moving on to the next one. And it's real. Like it's just absolutely real. Where if I don't feel good, I need to go. And I don't remember the urgent care I went to last time because of whatever, because it's been a year or two or whatever. I'm just going to do a quick search. There's the first one. Let me call them. I hear the thing come on saying, if this is emergency, dial 911. Okay. And then it goes ring, 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 ring. And then I'm just, well, they're not there. Click. I'm going to go down. Let me try this one next. Cool. And that's it. And that's how people function. So like the idea, I've seen people say, they have a 2-ring requirement or 3-ring requirement where it cannot ring more than 2 or 3 times in the clinic before it's answered. Like it cannot be any worse than that. And some people have one ring requirement,
which would be ideal.
But it's hard. Like I get it. There's a system that goes into place to do that. But the reality is a missed call, it's just pure missed opportunity. From our standpoint, that missed call technically costs you $20 or more, depending on the situation and where the costs are and what kind of call it was. If it was a marketing driven call, it's just dollars being thrown out the door. 100%. And so, and for us, like we can't fix that, right? Like we can't answer the call for you. We wish we could. But that missed call is just automatic loss of revenue, automatic increase in expense technically. And the sad part is nobody noticed except for the person trying to call.
And they'll never call you again.
Yeah, they'll just move on.
I say they'll never call you again. You may get a second at bat there, but the chances are going to be pretty slim.
Yeah, because we all talk about lifetime value of patients.
Right.
Well, the lifetime value can't start if there's a missed call at the very beginning.
Right.
So it's just that reminder is so important. The next one here is weak responses. So weak responses, it's how would I say this? It's just not being proactive in the conversation where it's just purely, let me answer the question that you have, patient. Great. Thanks. Bye.
I will say what you think is a strong response is a weak response. And that's when you diagnose over the phone.
Yeah, that's true.
That is actually, you may be showing off your knowledge and your skill, and you may be seasoned in this area. But if you're diagnosing over the phone, that is a weak response because your doctor, well, one, it's going to be a missed patient opportunity most of the time.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a real thing. And it's just, if they're calling, they want to work with you. They want you to take care of them. But you have to walk them through the process.
Right.
And if you diagnose them over the phone, you lost your copay, essentially, that
honestly.
quickly. And I know for the, people are the providers, like they want that, like they're built in, like I want to help you, but you have to step back and say, I want to help you, but I want to help my business too, because I want to get paid. That's a big thing. The other thing here is uncertain answers. So uncertain answers, what does that look like? So the easy example is, let me check. And that let me check turns into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. And you get back to the call. Okay, I got the information, and they're gone. They either came off the call or something happened, it disconnected. Who knows? So uncertainty on the answers makes a big deal because one, there's a confidence issue where the patient calling in may lose a little bit of confidence in the clinic saying, well, are you sure? Like, you don't sound like you take my insurance.
Right.
So like things like that do matter. So the goal, just like with anything, is building that confidence over time. It's not like an instant thing that can happen. It does take a little bit. Oh, that just popped right on.
I just put it on there.
Okay, I was like, where did that come from? But yes, all of these represent lost patients. Like I said, 40%, that sounds like an interesting number. If we do like actual patient numbers, let's say you do 1,000 patients a month, or you could do 1,000 patients a month, 200 to 400 of those never interacted with you because you missed a call or there was a weak response. They just didn't show up. That's a huge number. That's the difference between a good month and a bad month. Easy.
I would say fixing that just 1 month is the difference in a good year and a bad year.
Exactly.
Right.
And, we're coming up to summer slump. We understand summers are hard for urgent care. And so we recognize like
what a great opportunity to hone your skills though.
Yes. We actually find that when we do talk to urgent cares during the summer, they are doing big projects. They typically are like, yeah, we're overhauling this or doing that. If you haven't decided on what your big project may be for summer, this should be your project.
Right.
Doubling down your front desk training, coming out with a program. We're here to help you guys and making it as impactful as possible because what you do now will benefit so much more later and just create a new standard that makes all the difference. But anyway, so let's move forward. All right, so one missed call can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. We just talked about that, but it's not just that one visit. I think people get confused on the one visit part. It's the follow-up visit. It's that lifetime value piece that really starts to make the difference because once you have the follow-up, you have the different needs coming in, and then of course you have family and referrals. So that one patient that you'd missed the call on or fumbled on the phone, and then they got confused
or diagnosed
and gave them enough to say, oh, I don't need to come in. I feel all right with this.
Right.
These are things you're missing. And now the impact seems more real, correct?
What compounds?
Right.
Yeah.
It's like compound interest, right? Where it's just one of those, it seems small up front, but my goodness, that one patient could have been a mom with 5 kids or whatever. And then, I had a really great experience. Hey, y'all just come with me this time. Y'all do pediatric too? Great. I'm going to start bringing my kids here. This was a great experience. But if they never had the opportunity to experience any of that, then it's just a loss.
I love what Hannah said on here. And typically I'm not going to call out the chat, but what a perfect example of going from an urgent care and a chiropractic. It's, I came here for the urgent care, or I came here for the chiropractor and then found out that I have these other services to offer. We have a lot of urgent cares that have weight loss, IV therapy, OCMED, all these different areas. And if you missed that one phone call, you just closed yourself off to all of these other opportunities that you never even knew you would have had an opportunity to have.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know how I just said that. You never knew you had a chance at in the first place would be the best way to say it.
Yeah, talking about the follow-up side, like Belinda said here, I like doing follow-up on patients. Well, you can only do follow-up on patients if they show up the first time,
100%.
Right? And so there's a lost opportunity at the very beginning where, my goodness, a $40 copay visit. Mm-hmm. They come and the doctor did correct, say, hey, I need you to come back for whatever, for a follow-up of some sort. Well, now it becomes another $40 copay. And then the good experience that may have had family, all of a sudden that patient that may have been worth $200 or $300 at one time now be worth
thousands upon thousands, depending on the situation, and you'll never know.
Right.
So, and the reality is, you guys pour into your clinics on experience and smoothness and proper care and just overall just a nice experience when it comes to walking into to leaving. That you focus on door-to-door time. Those don't matter if they don't get there in the first place. Door-to-door time is a great metric if there's a patient coming in. It doesn't make sense if the patient's not there in the first place. So just, this is that first touch that really makes the impact, and that's where we're pushing on this. Make sense? Let's see. All right, so what's actually broken? It's not your people. It's a system. You didn't accidentally just do this and hired all the wrong people. You were just hiring based on some things that made sense at the time, because your view of a front desk is pretty typically, are you kind? Do you follow direction? Are you comfortable with having some conversations, but nothing beyond that, right? It's very reception driven,
right?
Customer service driven. But we're kind of pushing that a little bit differently, right? Where yes, there is that friendliness is important, but there's a performance side to it. And yes, you can confuse this with sales, but the reality is every single time somebody calls in, they're not a patient until they come and get sold into a patient.
All righty. We came back on the other side. How's your front desk doing in comparison to what we talked about? Are they being good sales? Are they being proactive? Are they making the difference in your clinic and not just taking calls and just say, come on in? Are they doing more than that? Well, I hope it's super helpful to you. If you have questions or want to have a one-on-one with me in terms of your front desk, hello@patientcaremarketingpros.com is our email. Send us an email and we'll go from there and see if we can set up a time with you. But if you have any other suggestions around front desk that we didn't touch in this episode, please let us know, because we're always trying to evolve that training and make it better, because it does make the difference. Y'all have a good one.